Well, the defendant truly comes across with a holier-than-thou attitude in his testimony and casting judgment on his so-called cousin. Associate. I don't find the defendant credible. So I therefore have to move to the plaintiff to say, did he lose all these things? And I do believe that the defendant did discard some of his property. I would be comfortable finding that he discarded his iPhone and his laptop, and that comes to almost $2,000.
Why? Well, first of all, I don't agree with you.
Okay.
I find him very credible. And I know of no reason to disbelieve, there's nothing in the evidence that will indicate to me that he's exaggerating the property that was taken. We'll have to determine the value.
Can I offer this in lieu of trying to attribute a particular value? For my part, I'm satisfied that the defendant committed a malicious, intentional act, not even grossly negligent, malicious. Look at the conduct. He didn't just throw out the property. He calls the police knowing exactly where the car is. He was out to get this plaintiff. I think it was in bad faith, and I think it was malicious.
So you want to attack on a punitive damage for just all of the conduct and the behavior?
Absolutely. We give the plaintiff a full $5,000. Even if we can only say, you know what, this, that, and the other add up to $1,000, I think, in the case of pro se litigants, we have allowed them to amend their complaints, and that's what I would do here.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with that because I would get there as far as the value of the property anyway. What are you having trouble with, Judge?
It's not that he's not credible. I mean, he's lost some things. I just don't know what they are, and I don't know their value. So I'm at a point where, let's say I find $2,000 worth of damages. My next issue is, do I want to tack on the punitive damages to that? I mean, unlike other cases, this defendant actually had him arrested.
Spent a day in jail.
Yeah, he
did.
did.
Talk about punitive. What's a day in jail worth?
Being arrested, being put in handcuffs, you're minding your business at home,
and
somebody has the police come to your house, lock
I don't want to be picky, but I would do 2 and double the fine for punitive and do 4.
I think this guy did something very wrong that he would warrant a punitive damage award of $5,000. I'm going to stick with $5,000.
And I'm going to join you.
With $5,000.
You can have a dissent, Judge.
All right, I'll dissent because I'm pushing myself in this direction a little bit tenuously. Yeah. So I'm willing to stick with my $4,000.
But we like that
double
you came
the
a little bit. It's good that you came around a little bit. You came close.
All right, gentlemen, we are unanimous in wanting to hold you responsible, Mr. Johnson, for much of what happened here. It seems that this case and your testimony is replete with accusations and disparaging remarks and comments about the plaintiff, Mr. Jackson, who at one time you treated like a family member more than an associate. And it comes across with a holier-than-thou attitude. And that's very disconcerting because the damage that was done here was done primarily by you. So what we see here is a responsibility that we're going to attribute to you for his loss of property. We all agree we're valuing the property at $2,000, but what we had discussed was imposing punitive damages on you, sir, for the balance. And that's where the breakdown in unanimity comes about. I would have awarded you double the damages, $4,000, but Judges Acker and Corriero felt that your behavior was so egregious that it warranted finding that the plaintiff here would be entitled to the maximum amount he could get, $5,000. So the judgment, sir, is in your favor. It's for $5,000, and sometimes we need to look in the mirror before we cast stones.